What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of SSPN. You might have heard a little bit of a mail notification there from you, Ethan, but you know what? That's the notification that the Spurs hope to be getting from DeAndre Ayton this summer. But we have to discuss, actually, if we want it. So, what are your thoughts on the Spurs potentially signing DeAndre Ayton and what his potential could be in San Antonio?
Well, I still don't know if it's likely, but it is more likely now than it was in the past because of rumors about DeAndre Ayton and the rest of the Phoenix Suns organization kind of being on different terms. We saw what Monty Williams said in the press conference after losing Game 7 to the Dallas Mavericks. So who knows what's going to happen? Chris Paul is aging. They have to pay him. Do they have enough money in the cap? Because they'll also have to pay Mikal Bridges and all these other guys if they want to keep them intact. So what's going to happen? I think it would be a good move for the Spurs because I think he still has that upside of a superstar center. Maybe not superstar, at least star, like an all-star level center in this league. He can guard multiple positions. He's a shot blocker, a rim runner. He's got nice touch around the rim. Somebody next to a DeJounte Murray, a Devin Vassell, and a Keldon Johnson that can kind of, put together that young core, take that next step. But if we were to sign DeAndre Ayton, that would require us to probably make some more moves in order to acquire more players to win now. Because to me, that's a sign that the Spurs are kind of through with their rebuild of sorts and are ready to win now. So that means trading picks, probably moving off of Jakob Pertl to acquire some more depth at maybe that 4 spot. Maybe even moving off of Doug McDermott, although he's a win now type of guy. Maybe getting off of some of our young guys. Who knows what would happen in that scenario? But I do think he has that all-star level potential, and at that center spot, that's rare, especially in today's NBA. So if I'm the Spurs and DeAndre Ayton has interest in being with us, I say pay him.
I think when you look at the opportunity that the Spurs have when it comes to cap space and the certain teams that don't have cap space this year,
Mm-hmm.
this when the Spurs don't have a lot of opportunity to get big name players like this, and this would be, even if though it's not guaranteed because it's going to be restricted free agency, they're going to be one of the few teams that can offer that type of money, and it would still be attractive to them because yes, they were in the play-in, but DeJounte Murray being an all-star, Keldon Johnson's emergence after the trade deadline. We've even heard Draymond talk about Keldon as well. You saw what Devin did in the play-in game, and there's a lot of people who are still high on him. And then, of course, Josh Primo was even getting featured in the Ringer, throughout the year. So there's a lot of people are starting to take notice to the Spurs' young talent. And DeAndre Ayton may be like, yeah, I might have to be a little bit patient, but I've kind of had this playoff time right now. I can work with these guys, kind of tell them what it's like in my experience and bring that. And then on top of that, I'm in the same age group as them. So they're only going to get better. And when I bring my skills, that's going to lead to more open threes for Keldon and Devin. So there's a lot of appeal there if DeAndre wants to look into it and look through some Spurs colored glasses. But I know that there are concerns about DeAndre as well, especially with the playoffs this year and in past years with performances maybe being underwhelming. Obviously, still a finals level center. He's done it before, on a very good team. But I think what you mentioned with the way that the Mavs series went, and with Luka going nowhere, the Warriors going nowhere. Phoenix is going to have to make some tough decisions. They were able to kind of get to that finals run off some rookie contracts,
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to make some moves and they have to make some tough decisions. And, we'll see what happens with, obviously, I'm sure they want to keep DeAndre Ayton, but I'm sure that they also have a cost that they're not going to give up in order to keep him. So we'll see if the Spurs can match that. But, a lot of this depends on the Suns. I really feel like, Ethan, what you said is all true too. But they've got to really decide, I think, with DeAndre Ayton if they want him or not. And if they're, maybe they have to move Mikal Bridges in order to keep him. So depending on what their decisions are, I think will really be the determining factor whenever it comes to the percentage chance that the Spurs can have to get DeAndre. But another thing that I want to mention is if you have any concerns about him, like I may have a little bit of concerns about him too, but the thing you got to remind yourself is one, still had some great games and has a lot of playoff experience at a young age. And two, you just know with the Spurs and Greg Popovich and just the way that they develop players, even when Pop retires, this player development system is great. And when you have somebody starting at DeAndre Ayton's level, and I mean, he could be working. Timmy still goes to practice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he can learn a lot, I think, in the Spurs, and I think that he could elevate his game in different ways, just like we saw DeMar DeRozan. Nothing crazy, but he's going to add layers and add maybe some more post moves if he was in San Antonio. So I see the appeal for it. I understand the concerns, but at the same time, the Spurs need that star big, and this might be one of the few times where you can take that chance. So there's pros and cons to everything, Ethan, but I see the appeal of it, definitely. Any final thoughts on DeAndre Ayton?
The Admiral also lives in San Antonio, and that's who he was compared to coming into
And
this league.
he's from the Bahamas. He's an island boy just like Timmy. So
I
we'll
think
see
it
what
fits.
happens. I think it fits too, and he fits with the timeline. So we'll see. Anyways, if y'all enjoyed this, please subscribe to our channel, and also don't forget to like this video as well. That really helps us out. And then also, if you want to stay tuned to all the SSPN stuff, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Ethan_Quintero and at Jude McLaren. And if you want to buy some SSPN merch, you can go over and head over to SpursTubeTV.com. Scroll down to the merch section. You can get some hoodies, some t-shirts, and even a coffee mug if you like. But
Yeah.
we'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know how many coffee drinkers are in here, but get you an SSPN coffee mug. Why not?